All right, hello everyone. Welcome to today's strength class. Happy first couple days of the November. Here is our waiver for the month of November. Here is we have a Teams notification update. So I already put the equipment that you'll need in the chat with just a pair of dumbbells, and I am not the owner of the invite. Christopher Lopez is the owner of the invite. So if you did not get that chat message, please let me know, and I will resend the message, but you'll need to email Christopher Lopez, who is at our Houston location, since he's the owner of this invite, and he'll be able to add you. That way, you start getting messages before we start the recording, if that makes sense. Or you could just go ahead and add yourself to that Slack right there, Program Global Qfit, so you can get more information. But again, if you're not seeing our chat messages, please let us know. That way, we can get you added. The next slide is the cooking demo holiday series. Again, we have one on November 6th this week, November 13th, and November 20th. So hopefully you were able to vote on that poll. Again, Shannon is responsible and she does a really good job for this holiday series along with Jenny, although she is out. So feel free to join the holiday cooking series. Next, we have the Healthy Holidays webinars. So we have some educational webinars, some holiday check-ins, some healthy recipes, and then some fun prizes for participants. So that's November 19th all the way up to January. So if you're familiar with this program, we do it every year. So hopefully, again, you are able to join. And then lastly, we have the 5th annual fun run. Again, most of you have seen this slide already. But again, 5K or 10K, run, walk, some training programs. Again, this is site specific. So please contact the fitness program manager at your site. That way you are able to participate. All right. Again, lastly, if you just joined the room right now, if you are not receiving the chat messages as they appear on the screen, please email christopher.lopez@hpe.com. I'll go ahead and put that in the chat right now. Since he is the owner of the invite, that way you're able to get on and that way you're able to see the messages, okay? Something's going on with Teams. All right, cool. Let's go ahead and start moving. I'll go ahead and start presenting. Spotlight myself. All right, cool. Let's go ahead and start moving a little bit. Let's go ahead and have your hands directly on your shoulders. Have a nice slight bend in your knees. Go ahead and push your hips back, and we'll go ahead and bow and then down. Let's do about 8 to 10 repetitions here. Again, pushing our hips back. Getting some movement here in our hamstrings as we are doing a dumbbell RDL today and some squats. Again, somewhere around 8 repetitions. Once you finish, let's go ahead and do some arm circles forward. And then go ahead and go some arm circles backwards. The circles can get progressively bigger if you'd like. And then we're going to go ahead and alternate between one hand over the other. We are doing some shoulders today. Nothing overhead though. Just some front raises. And then we're just going to go ahead and raise our knees and raise our hips. Just do some nice hip circles or knee circles just to get some movement in our hip girdle. Couple more reps, then we'll start. All right, friends, we got 3 intervals today. So we have an EMOM or an every minute on the minute. We're going to work for 40 seconds. We're going to rest for 20 seconds. Okay, we have 5 different movements. So we're going to do this 3 times for a total of 15 minutes. We're going to build up a lot of volume here. So the dumbbells shouldn't be super heavy today. They should be, pretty much light to moderate and something that you can kind of do for the duration of that minute or those 15 minutes, accumulating all these 5 different exercises. So we have a squat, we have a dumbbell alternating bent over row, an RDL, a front raise, and then an alternating curl. So the very first one, we have your normal basic goblet squat. So you hold the dumbbell here in the horizontal position or in the vertical position, depending on how comfortable you are with the squat. And then we'll just have our feet directly outside of our hips, take our toes, slightly point them out, and then we'll just hold the dumbbell again here in the very front squat position. And we're going to go ahead and descend and do that squat for 40 seconds. Again, if you have any knee limitations or kind of allergy, just try and get as much range of motion as you can. Keep yourself nice and safe. The next one, we have a dumbbell alternating bent over row, which we'll grab our pair of dumbbells. We're going to go ahead and get parallel position. And we're just going to go ahead and row one at a time, each arm. I'll go ahead and coach you through the last three movements. I want you all to start. So I'm going to go ahead and put my timer up here. That way we're able to go. And then we'll start working, okay? All right, friends, go ahead and grab your dumbbells. Let's go ahead and start the clock. We're going to go in 3, 2, 1. All right, let's go ahead and grab your dumbbell. Let's go ahead and start squatting. Again, just try and get as much range of motion here as you can. Make sure your feet are just outside of your hips. Take your toes and then slightly point them out. Again, we're working for 40 seconds here. We're not necessarily looking to get a lot of really fast reps. We're just looking to get some really good quality reps. Again, trying to get as much range of motion as you can. If you're following along, we have about 15 seconds and we'll get to the next movement. Again, we're going to rest for 20 seconds, so you do have a pretty good amount of rest here. But again, if you want to go ahead and go fast and do a lot of reps, it's your time to move. Let's go ahead and rest. So we have 20 seconds to rest now. So again, we're just accumulating some volume, trying to get really good quality repetitions here. But again, if it's your time to move and this is the only time you're able to exercise today and you want to go fast on your reps, you totally can. Grab your dumbbells. We have bent over a row now. 2, 1. All right, we're going to go down here. Trying to have our shoulders, again, nice and parallel to the floor. All we're doing here is just locking out our elbows and just trying our best to get the dumbbells up towards our lats or up towards our ribcage. I'll go from the front view as well. Feet, where should your feet? Your feet should be just directly underneath your hips, creating a nice straight line from your toes all the way to your kneecap. Got about 10 seconds here, and we'll get to the next movement. The next movement is going to be a dumbbell RDL for your hamstrings, just kind of like what we did in the warm-up. Let's go ahead and rest now. So we got 20 seconds off now, 20 seconds. All we're doing now is we're going to do a dumbbell RDL. We're getting our posterior or our hamstrings. So whenever you're ready, go ahead and grab your dumbbells. Again, feet directly underneath your hips. Let's go ahead and work now. Just let the dumbbells go. Just bracing our thighs and our shins. Again, pushing our hips back here. Having a nice, good vertical shin. Your knees should not be fully locked out here. They should be a nice, slight bend in your knee. Or if you have the mobility and the range of motion, you want to lock them out too, you can. Just know that your back just might be slightly rounded and your shoulders might be slightly rounded. We got about 5 more seconds. Again, pushing our hips back, standing up all the way. 2, 1, rest. The next movement, we have a dumbbell front raise and then a dumbbell curl. All right, so 2 simple movements. Got about 10 more seconds. For the next one, we're going to go ahead and target our shoulders. 5 seconds. Again, we're going to work for 40, rest for 22, 1. All right, feet directly underneath your hips, palms facing you or your thighs. And let's just go ahead and raise those dumbbells up towards our knees, or sorry, up towards our eyes, up towards our shoulders. Elbows here, we should be fully locked out. Again, just really focus on isolating our shoulders. Got about 15 seconds. Again, bring some awareness to your low back. Make sure you feel like your low back or your belly button is really protruding forward. Really focus on bringing your belly button rest, bringing your belly button towards your low back. So we don't want that extension here in our lumbar. Again, we're just trying to be nice and straight. We got 10 more seconds, and all we're doing here is a simple alternating curl. We got 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Curl. Really simple movement here. Again, we're going to go about 90 degrees, and then once you get to 90 degrees, go ahead and start rotating your pinky up towards your shoulder. Again, really focus on squeezing your bicep at the very top. Got 10 more seconds, and then we're going to go back up to the top starting with the dumbbell squats. 3, 2, 1, rest. All right, that's our first interval, everyone. So again, we've already done one interval, so basically we're going to do 2 more here. Again, trying to accumulate a pretty good amount of volume. You know the flow of it, so if you want to go heavier, go ahead and go heavier. We got a squat next. 3, 2, 1. All right, we'll work. Again, feet directly underneath or outside of your hips. Take your toes and then slightly point them out. The dumbbell should be in the very front rack position. As you're initiating the squat, making sure that we're pushing our hips back first, and then we're going to go ahead and decrease or descend into that squat. Again, looking for quality repetitions here, not necessarily looking for a lot of reps or a lot of movements, or sorry, a lot of reps. Good quality movement. We have 10 more seconds. Keep working. The next movement will be a dumbbell bent over row. 2, 1, rest. Nice job. We got 20 seconds. Again, when you're squatting, just really focus on keeping your chest nice and tall. If you can pretend like there's a mirror in front of you and you're reading your shirt every rep, depending on your mobility. 5, 3, 2, 1. We got your dumbbell bent over row. Again, really focus too on the angle here. So, try not to keep your shoulders nice and tall. We really want to focus on getting our whole back and our whole lats here. So that's why we want to keep our shoulders relatively pretty low to the ground. Also, bring awareness to your back and your spine. Kind of have to be in a kind of turtle position. We're really focusing on bringing our shoulders back and just having a good movement quality. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We're resting now. So nice 20-second break. The next one is we're going to be going to the dumbbell RDL. Again, you should be feeling this next movement in your glutes and your hamstrings, as this is a bending movement. We're going to go in 3 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Work. Again, stance here. Stance here is also important. If you're relatively pretty wide, it's going to be kind of awkward here for your hamstrings. So what we're looking for is more of a narrow stance. That way we can really reach a good range of motion here in our hips with our hips. And again, letting our hips guide the movement. We're just holding the dumbbells. We're not pulling. You could grip them relatively pretty hard if you want as well, just to have more muscles being contracted. But again, this is all going on in your posterior. We got 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1, rest. All right, friends, we got 2 more movements. That'll be our second interval. Slight lower body bias today with the squat and the RDL. And we have pulling movement. 3, 2, 1, shoulder raises whenever you're ready. Again, feet just directly underneath your hips. And we're just raising those dumbbells up towards our eyesight. Or up above the shoulders. Again, if you have maybe your shoulders kind of hurt or you want to go alternating, you can go ahead and go alternating. That way you reduce the amount of volume per arm. We got 10 more seconds here. Keep your shoulders nice and safe. And if you can't go up all the way, hey, just try your best to go somewhere around maybe your chest area. 2, 1, rest. Again, but the whole goal is to train your muscle and full range of motion. If your goal is just to be nice and healthy and have good lubricated joints and muscles, the last one will be doing a dumbbell curl. And that'll be the end of our interval. 2, 1, rest or work. Again, really focus on contracting and squeezing your bicep. I like EMOM just because you can get a pretty good amount of work in a short amount of time and just give yourself the appropriate amount of rest time based on your fitness level. Got about 10 more seconds. Stop in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, we got one more interval now, one more interval, and that'll be the end of our strength class. We have 15 seconds. We're going to go back up to the top and complete your dumbbell squat. If you want to go ahead and go a little faster and get a little bit more reps and get some really good blood flow to your quads, go for it. 3, 2, 1. All right, work. Again, just make sure that your stance is really good and you have good mechanics. You have good movement quality. Again, try to get depth here. But if you want to go ahead and go fast and you want to get some good squats in and burn your legs out, you totally can. Again, you can also hold the dumbbell in the goblet, or sorry, in the vertical position, depending on the type of dumbbell that you have. We're still working. We have 15 more seconds now. Keep getting your reps in. 10 seconds. Keep working. We got 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Rest. Good job. That is the end of our squats today. We got a nice 15-second break. We're going to go back up to your alternating bent over row. 10 more seconds. All right, working in 5, 4, feet directly underneath your hips. 2, 1. Now we're working. Again, pulling this dumbbell just right by here, right by our sides. Trying to get the dumbbell close towards our rib cage. Maintaining good movement quality. Again, trying to keep our shoulders nice and parallel to the floor. We got about 15 seconds. Keep working, keep getting your repetitions. You can also slow down on the way down just to get a little bit more of a stretch or some more time under tension. 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Rest. All right, so we have a 20-second break. And then we're moving on to the dumbbell RDL. If you have a heavier dumbbell and you want to go ahead and do a crush grip one, you totally can. I'll demonstrate that in 5 seconds. Nothing changes here besides the fact that you're holding a heavier dumbbell. You have both hands. All right, and then work. And then we're doing this basically the same thing, except all we're doing is just holding one dumbbell as opposed to both. Got about 20 seconds. Also, really important is as you're going down, just make sure that you're squeezing your belly button, squeezing your belly. That way you're protecting your spine. Don't hold your breath. As you come up, go ahead and exhale. So as you're getting closer towards the ground or towards the floor, we want to take in air. And then as you're going away, we want to exhale that air. Rest. 2 last movements, shoulders, and then some biceps. Again, always making sure that you're bringing awareness to your breath. That way you don't hurt yourself. 5, and you protect yourself. 3, 2, 1. Some shoulder raises. Again, you can go alternating if you want to reduce the amount of volume, or you can go ahead and do both at the same time. Totally up to you. Halfway done. Got 10 more seconds. And then we're going to go ahead and rest in 5, 3, 2, 1. Rest. Nice job, friends. We got one more movement, and that'll be the end of our strength class. Again, if you're not getting the messages in our chat before we start the recording, please send a message to christopher.lopez@hpe. That way he can add you. 3, 2, 1. Finishing up with some bicep curls. Nice, easy movement. About 20 seconds left. Good. 10 more seconds, and then we can rest. 3, 2, 1, rest. Nice job, friends. I'm gonna go ahead and stop the recording. Again, if you have any questions, you can feel free to send me a message on Slack, or you can go ahead and email me. Totally up to you. Thank you all